The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which one can obtain the pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is perfection that fulfills all my desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with the transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him, ecstatic prema emanates. By him, ignorance is destroyed. Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade at your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds, and we take shelter at your lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevalavakati Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevalavakati Sadma Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Sitete Koriyai Kya. Arana Koriyo Manisata. Arana Koriyo ऐसे उत्तमा गति श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तमा गति हे प्रसाद पूरे सर्व पाचा हे प्रसाद पूरे सर्व पाचा चकुदाना दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु चकुदाना दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु चकुदाना दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकटित दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकटित थैंक यू प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अभी जब नाट जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अभी जब नाट जाते ओ वेद गाय हर चरित वेद गाय हर चरित श्री गुरु करुण सिंधु आदम जन्नर बंधु श्री गुरु करुण सिंधु आदम जन्नर बंधु हरिबो ओए लोके नाथ लोके राजीवाना ओए लोके नाथ लोके राजीवाना प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पाद दया प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पाद दया हे बेजाज सुपुत्री भुवाना ओहे बेजाज सुपुत्री भुवाना मेरा प्रभुपाद पतिता पवाना तेला प्रभुपाद पतिता पवाना जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद हरि बोल नमः विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Gauravani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Apasya Deshadharine Chaitanya Nitai Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavedanta Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Shri Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavedanta Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavedanta Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ramo Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ramo Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Radha, Radha Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe, Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe, Madan Mohan, Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radhe, Jaya Radha Madan Gopal, Radha Madan Gopal, Radhe, Jaya Radha Madan Gopal, Radha Madan Gopal, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Oh Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Can you lead? Raghuvinda, can you lead? Jaya. Jaya Vishnu Paramahansa, Sarvajya Vichara, His divine grace of Puja, Bhagavatam, Swami, ISKCON and Sahaja, Jagadguru, Shri Prabhupada, Jai. Lakshmata Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Namacharya, Shri Haridas. Prabhu se kaho, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar, Shivasa, Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Gopa, Gopinath, Shamakunda, Radhakunda, Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Navadip Mayapur Dham ki Jai. Neelachala Jagannath Puri Dham ki Jai. Dwarkadam ki Jai. ISKCON Vancouver Burnaby Gokula Dham ki Jai. Shri Shri Gorni Pai ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Madan Gopal ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. All glories to some of the devotees. All glories to some of the devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Ranga. Namanishwaram Namam Ishwaram Satchit Anandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Biyolo Kala Davamana Paramisa Machanta To Drishya Gopya Rudanta Mohur Netrayubam Rijantam Karam Bojayubena Satanka Netram Moho Swasa Kampa Trirekanta Kanta Sita Graiva Damodaram Bhakti Padam Iti Drikshva Leela Virananda Kunde Swagosham Nimmajantam Akyapayantam Radheshitagneshu bhaktir-jitatvam Puna prematasam sata vritti bande Param deva moksham na moksha-vadim va Natanyam rinneham varesadapiya Idam te vapurnata gopala balam Sada me manasya virastakimane Idam te mukambojam achanta nile Vritam kuntalai snigdha raktaisya gopya Mohosumbitam bimba raktadharame Manasya virasam alam lakshalabde Modeva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasiddha Prabho Dukkha Jalabdimagnam Kripadristi Vrishati Dinam Batano Grihane Samam Ajnam Ityakshidrisya Kuveratmajau Padam Vayatva Vayamochitau Bhakti Bhajau Kritau Cha Tata Prema Bhaktim Sakame Prayacha Namo Graho Me Sri Damodareya Namaste Sudamne Spuradipti Damne Gadiyo Darayata Vishwasya Damne Namo Radhikaya Tadiya Priyaya Namo Nanta Leelaya Devaya Tubhyam Namo Radhikaya Tadiya Priyaya Namo Nanta Leelaya Namo Radhikaya Tadiya Priyaya Namo Nanta Leelaya Devaya Tubhyam
To the Supreme Lord, whose form of the embodiment of the eternal existence, knowledge, and peace, whose sharpened earrings sing to the crow, who is beautiful, shining in the divine time of Pura, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter and then steaming the butter that will keep hanging from the squeaky running from the wooden grading mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been cut from behind by her, who ran after him with great speed. To the Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances.
Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying, rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To the Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with ropes, but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisance.
By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning in the heavens of Gokul, foods of ecstasy. He is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in the knowledge of the Supreme Majesty. But he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of God and reverence. The Supreme Lord Sri Damodar and offer obeisances hundreds and hundreds of
Number 4.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopal in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart, for what is the use to me of any other boon besides this? Number 5.
O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisance unto you, O Damodara, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver the poor, ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodara, just as the 2 sons of Kuvir, Manigreva, Nalakuvara, were delivered from the curse of Narad and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby, tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar, in the same way, please give to me your own Prema Bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. Lord Damodara, I first of all offer my obeisance to the brilliantly effulgent robe which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisance to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes.
Shri DhamodharAstakam ki! sorry.
Okay.
Not really.
I'll do a melody that Sahota Swami used to do. You know Sahota Swami? Remember Sahota Swami?
Yes.
He used to do this melody. Jaya Jaya
And now, you have to fix the sound. Oh my God.
Vijana Balaba Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Girivaradari
So,
Yasodhanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yasodhanandana Yasodhanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Kunjabihari Anachari Jaya Kunjabihari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Jaya Radha Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivraja Jakacharya Satar Satashi Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivraja Jakacharya Satar Satashi Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagvatam Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Can you hear on Zoom okay?
Yeah, it's much better. Now you stopped singing. It's better.
Problem. It doesn't catch well in the Zoom.
That melody that I was singing was a melody that Sahotra Swami used to sing. Did you know?
No, it's beautiful. It's just that the whole sound is disturbed. Couldn't listen to it.
Yeah, because laptop isn't built for that. So, did you know Sahotra Swami?
Yes, of course, Suhotra. Very much so. Great scholar.
Yes. He left his body in Mayapur in a hut.
Exactly.
With his bead bag in his hand.
Yes. He's brilliant.
Found him with his bead bag in his hand. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from the Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 10, Uddhava visits Vrindavan. There is quite a bit of reading I'll do this morning because there is a few, as Mother Radhika would put it, some footnotes, but it's a little while until we get to a substantial purport type of commentary. Yeah,
I don't think there's any purport that's substantial.
Yeah, until the next chapter.
Yeah, that's perfect. The last thing is the gopis are angry. What a beautiful thought.
So we're going to text 47.
Yes.
Would you like to read the Sanskrit, Mother Radhika? And then we can...
Sure. Bhagavata udite surye nandatwari brajaukashaha drishtva ratam shatakambham kashayam iti cha bruvan.
When the godly sun had risen, the people of Raja noticed the golden chariot in front of Nanda Maharaj's doorway. Who does this belong to, they asked.
Akrura agata kimva ya kamshayarta sadakaha yena nito madhu purim krishna kamalalochanaha.
Perhaps Akrura has returned, he who fulfilled Kamsa's desire by taking lotus-eyed Krishna to Mathura. Purport, the gopis angrily spoke the statement.
So this should be your verse now. We can repeat after you.
I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kim sada ishat yajma bir bartu pritasya niskritim tata strinam vadanti nam udavagat krita nikaha.
Is he going to use our flesh to offer funeral oblations for his master, who was so satisfied with his service? As the women were speaking in this way, Uddhava appeared, having finished his early morning duties. Purport. This verse reveals the bitter disappointment the gopis felt when Akrura took Krishna away. However, they will be pleasantly surprised to see that the unexpected guest is Uddhava. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 46th chapter of the Srimad Bhagvatam, entitled Uddhava Visits Vrindavan. So I do want to continue on, but before continuing to read on, who can understand that sentence? Is he going to use our flesh to offer funeral oblations for his master, who was so satisfied with his service?
It's so horrible. I can't even read it.
Yeah, it's very.
And that is the mood of being angry and disgusted. Vivatsa.
Yeah.
The two moods: disgust and anger.
It's quite a shocking statement to come from the gopis.
The most shocking statement, I think, in the Bhagavatam.
Of course, Akrura does not escape, right? He does not escape reaction for upsetting the residents of Vrindavan.
Of course not.
Yeah.
You have the speaker who is being spoken to. That is the point.
I think it's in the Krishna book where Prabhupada explains the whole intrigue that happens with the Samantaka jewel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how Akrura becomes implicated in the murder of, what was that king's name? Or what was that person's? So the whole story of the Samantaka jewel, how it was given to Satyajit, was it? Satyajit?
Yeah, Satyajit.
Yes. And I think Satyajit was killed, was he not? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so within all of that, Akrura became implicated in this whole plot to get the Samantaka jewel. And so I think in the Krishna book, or maybe it's in the Srimad Bhagavatam, during that.
Oh, you mean Uddhava was implicated or Akrura?
Akura, because Srila Prabhupada says one may ask how an exalted soul could become implicated or involved in such a scenario. You know, this whole thing plays out where it's this whole ghastly scene where they have to kill this person to get the jewel, and then there was all kinds of like rumors, and it was like I won't recount the whole pastime, but it wasn't something you'd expect to see a pure devotee at the center of, or at least having a key role in it. And I believe it's in the Krishna book where Prabhupada says that Akura, he had a little reaction to go through because of the way that, because he upset the residents of Vrindavan. And so this was somehow, do you remember reading this? Somehow this was part of his kind of reaction. He had to be somehow connected to this whole intrigue with Satyajit and the Shamantaka jewel. So he doesn't get off scot-free coming in and upsetting the residents of Vrindavan.
But it's a case of mistaken identity. That's the joke.
Yes, here with Uddhava. Yeah. Yeah, it's not really about Akura at all. It's just that them seeing that chariot, and they haven't seen a chariot like that since Akura, so naturally, and they're already meditating on Krishna and they're already angry at Akura. So chapter 47, the Song of the Bee. This chapter describes how Uddhava, on the order of Lord Sri Krishna, delivered the Lord's message to the gopis, consoled them, and then returned to Mathura. When the young maidens of Vraja saw lotus-eyed Uddhava, who wore a yellow garment and attractive earrings, they were astonished at how much he resembled Krishna. Thinking, "Who is this?" they approached and encircled him. When they realized that Krishna must have sent him, they brought him to a secluded place where he could speak to them confidentially. The gopis then began to remember the pastimes they had enjoyed with Sri Krishna, and putting aside all ordinary propriety and shyness, they loudly wept. One gopi, while deeply meditating on her association with Krishna, noticed a bumblebee before her. Imagining the bee to be a messenger from him, she said, "Just as bees wander among various flowers, Sri Krishna has abandoned the young girls of Vraja and developed affection for other women." The gopi continued to speak in this way, contrasting her own supposed ill fortune to her rival lover's good fortune, all the while glorifying the names, forms, qualities, and pastimes of Lord Krishna. She then declared that although Krishna may have abandoned the gopis, they could not possibly stop remembering him, even a moment. Uddhava tried to console the damsels of Vraja, who were so anxious to see Krishna once again. Uddhava explained, "While ordinary persons must perform many pious deeds to qualify as servants of Lord Krishna, you simple cowherd girls are so extremely fortunate that the Lord has favored you with the very highest degree of pure devotion for him." Uddhava then related to them the Lord's message. Quoting Lord Krishna, Uddhava said, "I am the supreme soul and supreme shelter of all. By my potencies, I create, maintain, and destroy the cosmos. I am indeed most dear to you gopis, but to increase your attraction for me and intensify your remembrance of me, I left you. After all, when a woman's beloved is far away, she fixes her mind upon him constantly. By incessantly remembering me, you are sure to regain my association without delay." The gopis then asked, "Is Krishna happy now that Kamsa is dead and he can enjoy the company of his family members and the women of Mathura? Does he still remember all the pastimes he enjoyed with us, such as the rasa dance? Will Sri Krishna once again appear before us and give us ecstasy, just as Lord Indra, with his rain, gives life back to the forests, aggrieved by the summer heat? Although we know that the greatest happiness comes from renunciation, We simply cannot stop hoping to attain Krishna, for the marks of his lotus feet are still present throughout the land of Vraja, reminding us of his graceful gait, generous smiles, and gentle talks. By all these, our hearts have been stolen away. Having said this, the gopis loudly chanted Lord Krishna's names, calling out, "O Govinda, please come and destroy our suffering." Uddhava then pacified the gopis with statements that dispelled their pain of separation, and they in turn worshipped him as non-different from Krishna. Uddhava stayed in the district of Vraja for several months, giving pleasure to the residents by reminding them about Krishna in various ways. Very satisfied at seeing the extent of the gopis' love for the Lord, he declared, "These cowherd girls have perfected their lives by coming to the platform of unalloyed love for Krishna. Indeed, even Lord Brahma is inferior to them. The goddess of fortune herself, who always resides on Krishna's chest, could not get the same mercy as that which the gopis obtained during the rasa dance, and Krishna embraced their necks with his mighty arms. What then to speak of other women? Indeed, I would consider myself most fortunate to take birth as even a bush or creeper that would sometimes be touched by the dust of these gopis' lotus feet." Finally, Uddhava entreated Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd men for permission to go back to Mathura. Nanda presented him with many gifts and prayed to Uddhava for their ability to always remember Krishna. Returning to Mathura, Uddhava offered Balaram, Krishna, and King Ugrasena the gifts sent by Nanda Maharaj, and described to them everything he had experienced in Vraja. Wow. What a summary. Srimati Radharani's name is never mentioned.
You already know that.
Yet, even
It's not in the Bhagvatam.
Yes. Oh, that's a good point. Anu's pointing out that they use capital H, her, when referring to that gopi.
Yes, but that is also, it's somewhat of a protection. If you don't know who it is, you don't know who it is. Her name is not mentioned. We know that it is there.
Yes.
Of course. And in English, we have a capital, but in Sanskrit, there's no capital, please.
But we know what we know.
No, that of course. But it's ironic. We don't have a capital in Sanskrit.
Yes, right. Have a capital. Oh, to have the knowledge. Yes, right. Jagavinda Prabhu was saying we're very privileged to have the knowledge.
Yes, it's so much beautiful irony. We should not miss it.
Text number 1 to 2. Would you like to read the Sanskrit?
Yes, I will. Sri Shukvacha tam viksha Krishnu charam braja striya pralamba bhahum lava kanchalochanam vitambaram pushkara malinam lasam mukaravindam parim striya kundalam suvishmata koyam apya darshana kutascha kaschituta vesha bhushanaha iti sma sarvaha parivavrur utsukas tam utama shloka padam buja shrayam.
Sukadev Goswami said, the young women of Vraja became astonished upon seeing Lord Krishna's servant, who had long arms. So now we're backing up, right? They're just getting their first glimpse of Uddhava. The young women of Vraja became astonished upon seeing Lord Krishna's servant, who had long arms, whose eyes resembled a newly grown lotus, who wore a garment and a lotus garland, and whose lotus-like face glowed with brightly polished earrings. "Who is this handsome man?" the gopis asked. "Where has he come from, and whom does he serve? He's wearing Krishna's clothes and ornaments." Saying this, the gopis eagerly crowded around Uddhava, whose shelter was the lotus feet of Lord Uttama Shloka Sri Krishna.
So are you doing the next verse collectively?
Yeah, I personally think that the place to go is text 6.
There's no harm. I'll keep reading. Tam prashrayana vanataha sutatkritam savrida sekshana sunrita dibihi rahasya prechan upavishtam asane vigyana sandeshaharam ramapate.
Bowing their heads in humility, the gopis duly honored Uddhava with their shy, smiling glances and pleasing words. They took him to a quiet place, seated him comfortably, and began to question him, for they recognized him to be a messenger from Krishna, the master of the goddess of fortune. Purport: the chaste gopis were enlivened to see that a messenger had come from Krishna. As Uddhava will discover during his stay in Vrindavan, the unique gopis could not think of anything but their beloved Krishna.
Janimastvam yadupate parshadam samupagatam vartreha preshitaha pitror bhava priya chikirshaya.
The gopis said, "We know that you are the personal servant of Krishna, the chief of the Yadus, and that you have come here on the order of your good master, who desires to give pleasure to his parents."
Anyata govrajitasya smaraniyam ja shakshamaye sneha nubando banduna munirapi sutuhya jaha.
We see nothing else he might consider worth remembering in these cow pastures of Raja. Indeed, the bonds of affection for one's family members are difficult to break, even for a sage.
Go ahead, Prabhu.
Anyas varta krita maitri
Anyas varta krita maitri
yavadartha vidambanam
Yavadartha vidambanam
umbi strishu krita yadvat
Bhumbistrishu krita yadvat
suman asvi. Oh, that's a hard one. Sumanasvi eva satpadai.
Sumanashviva shatpadai.
Sviva.
Yeah, Shiva, you put the two words together, becomes Shiva, auspicious.
Anyas varta krita maitri
Anyeshvarta krita maitri
yavad artha vidambanam
Yavadartha vidambanam
umbi strishu krita yadvat
Bhumbistrishu krita yadvat
sumanasviva satpadai.
Sumanashviva shatpadai.
Anyas varta krita maitri
Anveshvarta krita maitri
yavadartha vidambanam
Yavadartha vidambanam
umbi strishu krita yadvat
Bhumbistrishu krita yadvat
sumanasviva satpadai.
Sumanashviva satpadai. Anyeshvarta krita maitri
Anyas varta krita maitri
Yavadartha vidambanam
yavadartha vidambanam
Bhumbihi strishu krita yadvat
umbi strishu krita yadvat
Sumanashviva shatpadai.
sumanasviva satpadai.
Anyashvarta krita maitri
Maitri
Advad artha vibambanam
yavadartha vidambanam
Srishu Kitayadva
umbi strishu krita yadvat
Shriva Satpadai
sumanasviva satpadai.
Yavarata Krita Maitri
Anyasvarta Krita Maitri
Vidambanam
Yavadartha Vidambanam
Ishu Krita Yadvat
Umbi Sri Shukrita Yadvat
Manasiva Satpadai.
Manasviva Satpadai. Anybody on Zoom like to chant the verse?
अन्ये अर्था कृत मैत्री यावदर्थ विदम्बनम् कुम्भिः श्रीसुकृत यद्वात् सुमनासु इव सत्पदे
Anesh arta krita martri yavat arta vidabanam pambihis sukrita yadvat samanthas ivasat padaiki.
Anybody else like to chant? Anyashu,
Anyashu,
toward others.
toward others.
Artha,
Artha,
some motivation.
for some motivation.
Krita,
Pita,
manifested.
manifested.
Maitri,
Maitri,
friendship.
friendship.
Yavat,
Yavat,
for as long as.
for as long.
Artha,
Artha,
as one is fulfilling his motive.
as one is fulfilling his motive.
Vidambanam,
Vidambanam,
pretense.
pretense.
Umbi,
Kumbihi,
by men.
by men.
Srishu,
Strishu, for women.
Krita,
Pita,
shown.
shown.
Yadvat,
Yadvat,
as much.
as much.
Sumanashu,
Sumanashu,
or flowers.
for flowers.
Iva,
Eva,
as.
as.
Satpadai,
Shatpadai,
by bees.
by bees.
Translation. The friendship shown towards others, those who are not family members, is motivated by personal interests, and thus it is a pretense that lasts only until one's purpose is fulfilled. Such friendship is just like the interest men take in women or bees in flowers. Please repeat. The friendship shown towards others,
The friendship shown toward others,
those who are not family members,
those who are not family members,
is motivated by personal interests.
is motivated by personal interest.
And thus it is a pretense,
And as it is a pretense
lasts only until one's purpose is fulfilled.
that lasts only until one's purpose is fulfilled.
Such friendship is just like the interest of men. Such friendship is just like the interest
Such friendship is just like the interest
men take in women
men take in women
or bees in flowers.
or bees in flowers.
Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains here that attractive women, like flowers, possess beauty, fragrance, tenderness, charm, and so on. And as bees drink only once of a flower's nectar and then leave it for another, fickle men abandon beautiful and devoted women to pursue other pleasures. This tendency is condemned here by the gopis who gave their hearts completely to Sri Krishna. The gopis wanted only to exhibit their charms for Lord Krishna's pleasure, and in the pain of separation they questioned the motives of his friendship with them. These are the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Both Lord Krishna and the gopis are completely liberated souls engaged in spiritual loving affairs. By contrast, our so-called loving affairs, being perverted reflections of the perfect loving relationships in the spiritual world, are polluted with lust, greed, pride, and so on. Like excuse me, like all liberated souls, the gopis, and certainly Lord Krishna himself, are certainly free of these lower qualities, and their intense loving affairs are motivated exclusively by unalloyed devotion. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Ranjana Salakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Bhaktivedanta Swami. Panchakalpatarubhascha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhupada Shri Radha Srivastava Gaura Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I have to admit, I'm not quite catching something here. It's this sentence that says the gopis wanted only to exhibit their charms for Lord Krishna's pleasure, and in the pain of separation, they questioned the motives of his friendship with them. Oh yes, no, I got it. Yeah. So they're basically comparing Krishna to fickle men or bees to flowers, correct?
Exactly.
So I am not going to comment on this section because I don't think I have anything meaningful to say about it. It's, we just sat and heard so much from the Bhagavatam. It's beyond my level of realization to expand on that first paragraph. So if anybody else would like to comment on it, also it's just before 9 o'clock. But we've done a lot of hearing from the Bhagavatam, which is a success. Bhagavatam is class is a success in that sense. So, and there is an interesting second paragraph that kind of makes the whole pastime, how we can apply it in our own life or apply the understanding in our own life, it seems. But for this first paragraph, before I move on, does anybody else like to comment on that? It's quite a deep.
I just can repeat what I said earlier. Unless we reveal the 9 or 8 rasas, then the Bhagavatam doesn't fit into the category where we're putting it in, like ras theory and ras lila. So it has to be emphasized. And the gopis are the most pronounced to discover or to reveal that disgust and anger. So it's a highlight for our school of literary understanding of the Bhagavatam.
Can you say that again? I lost the thread. Like
the thread is that the Bhagavata is supposed to be in the rubric of ras theory. That is
right.
What the 6 Goswamis have dedicated it as. So if none of the characters exhibit any of these rasas that are part of the theory of, then how can we qualify? So Radharani and the gopis are exactly expressing that. So
Yes.
It's absolutely imperative to our school of literature, ras theory, okay?
Yes.
Rasavad.
I got
Okay.
that.
I'm running now.
Okay.
Radhe.
Yes, check whenever. If I turn it a little bit like this, it doesn't change anything about the reception. It's not the video, it's the audio. So that they can see.
Something that came to mind reading this purport is it says, fickle men abandon beautiful and devoted women to pursue other pleasures. And this tendency is condemned here by the gopis, who gave their lives completely to Sri Krishna. So, thinking of this, what we were saying earlier about how Akrura was condemned by the gopis and what he had to go through. So, fickle men who abandon, let's say, their wives, they have to go through through some kind of purification, because of the gopis do not appreciate this. And we see in most cultures that this is, from a, let's say, from a religious point of view, this is actually condemned.
We could not hear any conversations from the temple. Jagannatha Prabhu was very feeble.
So he was saying, I'll repeat his comment. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I don't know. The turning of the laptop makes such a big difference.
So if I go like this,
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
really?
Yeah, I think the mic has to be facing you, I guess.
I guess it's bouncing off the screen because it's just a flat surface. So, so Jagavindra Prabhu was saying that when we see, basically, I'll say briefly that. So he read this part of the purport where it says, fickle men abandon beautiful and devoted women to pursue other pleasures, gopis, who gave their hearts completely to Sri Krishna. So when that transpires, when fickle men behave like that, not only do they get their karmic reaction, but also they're condemned by the gopis, which is practically worse. Right? You could think of it as being worse than even like going to a hellish planet for those reactions. And all religions condemn this in principle, generally speaking. It's an interesting point. It's an interesting point. So, Nanipur, do you have something you want to know? Maybe just speak into this.
During the time of Jesus, the Jewish society was very strict on those things. And even to the point of something stoning somebody to death. Right? So, because to maintain the order, peace and order in society, certain rules are very, very strict. People are very adamant into enforcing certain rules. Like adultery, for example, theft. Like if you recall, just here in North America, in the beginning of North America, the conquest of the West, the wild, wild West, you would be punished to death if you steal a man's horse. You'll be hanged. There's death penalty if you steal a horse. Because if you steal a man's horse, you basically condemn him to death. Think about it. In those days, it was very essential to have a horse to get around. See? But now we have a society that is very permissive, and also it's of unacceptable behavior some time ago is now somewhat tolerated or very likely punished. Now we have groups of people, they swarm a store, they're like dozens of people, okay, criminals, they go and they just take it by storm, take the store by storm and steal the merchandise. So this is what's happening when we don't have strict rulers that are fearless and they're ready to implement law, lay down the law. This is what we're having. So the gopis are dismayed and disturbed by Krishna's so-called immoral behavior. Mm-hmm. Some people that don't quite understand those scriptures, they see as Krishna as very degraded, a debauchee. They don't understand this is pastime and it's very sweet and relishable. It's not easy at first. You have to really pay attention and take time to read and engage in devotional service. That's what Krishna says, Bhaktyamam Abhijanati. That through devotional service, people will understand Krishna. Because through devotional service, there's a process of purification, you dedicate your life. So it's not simple matter. It's a big deal. It's like going to school. You want to go to medical school to become a surgeon. It's going to take several years to actually become a qualified surgeon, right? So the same way, because it's very complex and people's lives are under your scalpel. So the same way, this is also a very deep subject matter. It's not going to be understood overnight. So it is unfortunate. We see lots of people that misunderstand Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya. They don't consider Lord Chaitanya as God. It's just someone who had suffering from epilepsy, perhaps a great saint, but not God. So we have many challenging section of the Bhagavatam, challenging for the correct understanding. This is definitely a touchy part when we deal with the gopis. They are so advanced. We can only wish, like Uddhava and Lord Brahma, to become blades of grass. So we are blessed by the dust of the lotus feet. Really.
Even if we can't, even if our realizations are limited when we get into these deep chapters, right, about the emotions of the gopis, I mean, like, quite difficult to understand these. Not impossible unless one is completely free of material coverings. So, but it's important to hear it. Yes, it's part of the so that our misunderstandings can be corrected, so we can conceive of these truths. Previously, we can't even conceive of them, and that is actually the issue with why I believe impersonalism is so rampant. It's only because people haven't heard otherwise. It's not that it's a better philosophy. It isn't. It just isn't, right? But it's just that the personalism, like the philosophy, the Vaishnava philosophy, hasn't been broadcast the same way. So when people who are searching for spiritual knowledge, once they hear something, it puts it on their radar, and then they can gravitate towards it. That's basically what we're doing. We're having these concepts put in our radar so that we can that way. So Mother Radhika has joined us in the temple.
In harmony with what you were saying is that we have many schools of Indian thought, but we have Mayavad and we have Rasavad. So of course, so ours is Rasavad. So tomorrow I'll make many footnotes on that because I'm giving a class tomorrow. So to compare that, they both have merit, but of course we subscribe to our school. And today's chapter and the verses we read are very high points demonstrate Rasavad. Of course, Vad means school, theory. So Rasavad, our whole thing is Rasavad. You could analyze any of the characters in the Srimad Bhagvatam and put them in one of the rasas. You see what I mean? What role do they play? You see, the 6 Goswamis, they added these 5 relationships: neutrality, Sakya, Dasha, etc. So you can put them in those relationships, or you can put them in the relationship of the emotions that they're exhibiting, like anger, neutrality, joy, hasha, etc. So if we cannot model our stories on that theory, then the 6 Goswamis have wasted their time. So tomorrow we'll discuss. Now I have to run.
So it's already 10 after 9. But does anybody have any comment online that you'd like to? Manu proposed a comment.
It's interesting to see, but I've normally watched Animal Kingdom and all of the things. I see their polygamy is very common genetically, whatever it is. The lion will have lionesses, and
deer also with many this thing, monkeys. So I see genetical. That's why even in the good olden days, the kings used to have many people, many queens, and all other things. So that is there. So here we see the same situation we are talking. That's not only a little comment. And the man will say.
Both are there. In nature also there are birds that like the albatross, for example, one that comes to mind. They mate for life. So many also they're very strictly dedicated to their partner. Hmm. What is that again? Yeah. And it's just in this pastime, he's repeating it in many universes. So it's not limited to the 68,000. Mhm.
Yeah, and that was purposeful. Right? Lord Ram was purposefully
Yeah.
demonstrating.
Yeah. Teaching purposes.
Yes. Yes, yeah. The good old days. The good old days are behind us, Manu. Sorry, we'll have to move on. Okay. Any other comment on Zoom?
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. I don't have any comments. I just want to, not regarding the class, but just how you read everything and stopped at a very wonderful point. Intriguing relationships, so beyond our realization for sure. As you said, it's difficult to speak anything about it. So thank you for coming on board and giving us wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If I go to Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Radhika's class this evening. So feel free to join Radhika in our class. We'll also be doing the kirtan again in the temple each night. Join us for that. And there's always a little bit of prasadam afterwards in the lobby too. Antari's been making some very nice simple prasadam to distribute for the day. Do you want to say something, Madhavi?
I have little paraphernalia. This is from Mangalarti. May their Lordship bless all of us. And this is from Guru Puja. May Srila Prabhupada bless all of us. I can return the Mahamantra for the benefit of all the living entities in the world, especially for our new temple construction. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Tavakara Kamalavarana Kamabhuta Singam Tadirini Keshputani Brindam Keshavadektan Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadishari Jai Jagadishari Jai Jagadishari Jai Narsingadev 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 Jai Prahlad Mara Prahlad Mara Prahlad Mara Prahlad Mara Prahlad Jai Prabhupada 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 May their lordships Radha Madan Mohana Radha Madan Gopal Jagannath Baldev Subhadramaya Sudarshan Bhagavan Damodar Yashodamaya, Nrsimha Bhagwan Prahlad Maharaj, Gauranga, Panchatattva, Tulsi Maharani, Guru Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada bless all of us so that we be fit and fine and serve them wherever we are. Especially come together, build a wonderful new temple here as soon as possible. A mercy, a mercy, a mercy on all of us. Bless us, bless us, bless us. Thank you.
A wonderful day. Hare Krishna.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavang Sri Rupam Sadhyatam Sahagana Raghunathanutam Sam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhanidam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namini Sri Varsabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripa Bhai Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhavi Namaha Madhujala Premadhya Srirupanuga Bhakti Daya Sri Gauda Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namaste Namaste Gauravani Srimate Dhinatani Yupanu Gopira Japa Siddhanta Dhantahari Namah Gaura Kisaraya Sakshat Vairagamote Vipralambhara Sambodhi Padam Pujaya Sri Namaha नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगबरायति गौरयाविर्भावभूमेत्तं निर्देश सज्जनप्रिया